What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex. You watching the Ragin Nation show. This is just Websters. We're talking about all things mattering in the world of movies. Let's talk about Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and specifically the future of the rebooted Planet of the Apes franchise. We have now two movies in this franchise: Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which came out in 2011, and now Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which I really enjoyed. Gave it a really high score, 9.25 out of 10. Currently at $139 million domestically, $101 million in the foreign box office, with a grand total of $240.7 million worldwide in its second weekend of release. Now, what you might not know is that Matt Reeves is already signed on for the third installment of the rebooted franchise. I'm going to call this Planet of the Apes 3. Planet of the Apes 3 is already locked in for a July 29th, 2016 release date, with Matt Reeves directing. He's back to direct, and it will be coming out 2 years from now, which means he's going to be working on it right away after he's done promoting Planet of the Apes. And I guess he's really, I guess he's on tour. I'm not even sure, but I'm just assuming that he's on tour, bringing Planet of the Apes to the rest of the world. But anyways, once he's done with that, they got to start working on the third installment in the rebooted franchise. Now, my question is, what is Planet of the Apes 3 going to be called? I mean, we have Rise of the Planet of the Apes. We have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. You know what? It's kind of hard to really guess what this one's going to be called, because we don't even know what it's really going to be about. I mean, in the classic franchise, the classic, saga, Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, Battle for the Planet of the Apes. So, there's a lot of that traditional something of the Planet of the Apes title, that style of the title. So I'm really curious as to what Planet of the Apes 3 is going to be called. Now, what's very extraordinary about making a third installment is that they are at the point where they can do whatever they want with the next installment. Now, I say this because Rise of the Planet of the Apes, we treated that as a sequel. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was where we're bringing it into familiar territory. If you watch the previous Planet of the Apes films, because now we're seeing a part of Earth inhabited by apes and another part of Earth inhabited by humans, which is something we've somewhat explored in the previous Planet of the Apes films. Now, what is the third installment going to be about? Now, here's what's great about this franchise, and that is the only thing that is consistent about every installment is Caesar. Caesar, played by Andy Serkis. He's the only thing that is carried on, that is brought back into the next installment. James Franco's character, he died with the disease. Jason Clarke's character in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, we just kind of get the idea that he goes away, but he doesn't necessarily need to come back for the third installment, which means that in the third installment, the movie can be completely carried with Caesar, carried by Caesar, or carried by Andy Serkis, which is actually a great thing. It's actually a very extraordinary thing in a lot of live action films, because typically, for example, like Transformers, they usually have, they always have humans as the primary focus, but not the CG characters. Same with Avatar. Even though it's a CG dominated film, the main characters are still human. Now, 20th Century Fox and the Planet of the Apes franchise, Matt Reeves, they have the opportunity to do something different. I think the apes and human interaction, or rather the balance of the screen time, was a 50-50 split. It was a very good balance. Now they have the opportunity to make it more of a 75-25 split, because now they have established the Caesar character and the evolution of the apes. So that would mean that it's possible that Planet of the Apes 3 will be dominated an ape story, like a dominant ape story, where the humans will be secondary. They will be the supporting characters. And that is actually going to be very interesting, especially if they decide to cast a big name Hollywood actor. I mean, James Franco and Jason Clarke, they got top billing, right? We were going in watching a Jason Clarke movie or a James Franco movie. But now they don't really have to do that. They could actually do top billing for Andy Serkis. And that is going to be something very extraordinary. And that's something I'm looking forward to. Now, with regards to the story, they can do anything they want. They don't have to follow the original saga. They can do anything they want. So that they're given a lot of flexibility. Now, what I would like to see is first of all, I don't want to see any of the human characters from the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes come back. I want it to be like what the Transformers franchise did for Age of Extinction, and that is introduce a brand new human cast. Okay, so for Planet of the Apes 3, it would be cool to see the Caesar and the apes encounter a new human threat, or establish new human relationships. That would be very cool, because you're keeping into that tradition of making the apes evolve more, not just as characters, but also on screen. Okay, now the apes can really carry the movie forward because they have established the ability to speak English. So very, very cool. Now, what I want to see, now here's the interesting part. What I want to see done with the 4th installment is to have a version of the Taylor story. Okay, now in Rise of the Planet of the Apes back in 2011, they had a little bit of an Easter egg where they had astronauts go up into space. But they don't really explain a whole lot, except for the fact that they're going off into space for an exploration mission. And they leave it at that. Okay? Now, if they make Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and the 3rd installment a trilogy, like the Caesar trilogy, then it would be cool to make the 4th installment where they have a version of the astronauts, one of them being named Taylor, encountering this weird new planet that is dominated by apes, except we will see it from the perspective of the apes. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't know. I'm just throwing an idea out there, and I'm just throwing out something that I would like to see. But I thought that would be a great homage to the fans if in the 4th installment they bring in the character of astronaut Taylor and introduce like classic characters like Nova, and just bringing this upside down world and have it told through the perspective of the apes. That would be pretty cool. Anyways, why don't you guys let me know what you think will be the story for Planet of the Apes 3? What do you think they're going to be doing? Now, with Matt Reeves being the director, he's obviously going to carry the story forward. Like, he's going to continue exactly where he left off with the Caesar story in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So that'll give you an idea of what to expect. What do you think what's going to be about? And what do you think it's going to be called? It's going to be called like something of the Planet of the Apes. So why don't you let me know in the comment section below what you think it's going to be called and what it's about. There you have it. That's all I got to say in this video. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @RaginNation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Announcements for San Diego Comic-Con, but as far as I can tell, they are really locking in the dates just because they want to secure the best times to bring in